Hey folks, I'll be welcome back to the channel. Thank you for watching. In this episode, I'm going to work at my Suzuki Gsx600f from '93, the daily ride. Well, I have replaced the clutch in the bike when the kilometer stand was 9,200, so it's like 7,000 kilometers ago. But unfortunately, I did put in an aftermarket fracture plates, and they just proved themselves again. The aftermarkets are really low quality, and the clutch is already gone. And it's actually not just now, it's happened a few hundred kilometers ago after the oil change. But yeah, I did made up my mind, so I did order a complete set from the genuine parts, all the friction plates, all the metal plates, a new gasket again, and all the springs. So I'm gonna replace it one more time, and hopefully this gonna last longer. Like it happened with the GSX, so the aftermarket didn't work out, and then yeah, I had to replace again with the genuine parts. So now this is gonna be the same story, but because the clutch is worn down, I'm gonna replace the oil as well. Because of the frictions and so on, it could burn the oil. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna take her out for a spin to warm up the oil, and then when I'm back, I'm gonna release the oil, and then I'm gonna change the plates. As long as I'm gonna be out, I'm gonna put the disc into the oil to get some oil soaked up in the time, as long as I'm out. So let's prepare them for the oil bath. Now the bath is complete. All the 8 plates are submerged to the nice new fresh and clean oil. So it's gonna sink for a little bit, and I go for a ride. I just got back from the ride. I drove like 20-25 kilometers approximately. I hope this amount was just enough to warm up the oil, but not heat up too much the engine, so I'll be able to work on it. I'm gonna release the oil really quick after I still going to need to change, and then I need to take off the fairing from this side. So I hope this is gonna be time enough to the engine to cool down enough to be able to work on it. So first thing first, release the oil. So the oil is already out, and that's just, I hoped it's just lukewarm. It's not that hot, so it's like a good bath water. So now it's out, and yeah, it has from this angle, and yeah, actually the collector wasn't totally clean. It looks a little bit dark, so not that bad. So now it's out. I'm gonna start to take off the side covers and can replace the clutch. Now the side is exposed. This is the clutch cover, so I'll be able to open up. But as you can see, here's a lot of oil drops and things like that, dirt from oil. And this one, it's also been an aftermarket gasket, and I did replace the top, and it seems it's not the best quality. So I think from now on, I think I do not have too much aftermarket parts yet. Only like the service parts, like oil filter. There are some plugs and brake pads, but anything else for carburetor, for gaskets and things like that, I'm gonna stop to buy these really low quality things, because they're just waste of money. So let's move on. Here's the new O-ring for the drain plug. I'm gonna put back. It's still gonna top a little bit, so now I can take off finally the cover and expose the clutch. Of course I'm gonna clean it a little bit. Halfway there, the entire pack is out, and the inner side, this is the inner side, And yeah, there are some marks already, but actually the metal plates aren't that bad, but the friction plates, I guess they aren't the right size, like it was with the Gsx600. Let's compare with the factory one. Yeah, different is there, I guess. Yeah, 6,000 kilometers in the brand new. Whatever. So now I'm gonna put it back. The order is it has 9 metal plates and 8 friction plates. It starts with a metal and should end with a metal. So one here, one there, one here, one there. So let's put it back together. Now the pack is complete. I did put some oil at the bearing. This is actually goes against the end of to the pressure plate, so that also needs to be lubricated, and just in case before the engine start up it already has some oil, so for sure not going to get any problem. And I put a little coat on the last metal plate as well, so it seems I did the order right because I ended up with a metal plate. So now I'm gonna put back the pressure plate with the new springs, of course. Now the job is done. I did put back already the oil drain plug with a new O-ring, and it's torqued. These are torqued as well. These need only 10 Newton meter, so it's really low amount. Have to be really careful. At the really first clutch swap in the first 600, I managed to damage one, so that was a really big problem to solve it, but eventually I could make it. So now everything is set. Can put back the gasket and the cover and fill up with oil, put back all the fairings, and she's good to go. But what I think I forgot, that these 2 bolts are going right to the oil space, all others are going to the metal itself of the engine block. So that's why these 2 bolts has an O-ring outside, which is unfortunately not included to the clutch cover gasket, but included for the bolts if you order them separated. So I didn't do that, I forgot that, but I'm gonna put on the new gasket, and I'm going to try to use some O-ring, and of course I'm gonna order the new one because you're also gonna need a new gasket, so I'm gonna open it up anyway. And on the 20,000 I'm gonna do again the synchron and a lot of other stuffs, so it's gonna be opened up anyway, so that I just in case gonna use some other difference, but I'm gonna order 2 of them. So now I'm gonna clean the surface to be sure that is nice and clean, and then put back the cover and get her back together. This side is complete. She got some oil, it's almost till the full level, so I'm gonna spin her up and then let this oil spread a little bit, and then gonna check the level again, and then the meantime I can put back the cover and everything. What I forgot to mention at the beginning, I did lose back the clutch to set 0 because of the spring attention and everything. Now I'm gonna let her run. Now as you can see it's not even apply anything, so I'm gonna adjust when she's gonna run, and later go for the test ride, and then gonna do the final adjustment. So let's fire her up. Finally she is complete, back together. The oil level is good, luckily. So the next thing to do is take her out for a spin and check the new clutch. I am still on the test ride, but it's huge different already. I'm really happy with the result. It feels so good. The shift is much more firm and much more exact, even much easier to find the natural. And before it was a huge problem to shift in the first gear, even from still standing and from 1 to 2 and the back as well. But now it's way better, much smoother, much just like a new bike. Super happy with the result. And I was thinking about these 2 special O-ring washers. I think I did not replace at that time, so maybe that caused the leakage. If so, then I'm taking back what I said about the aftermarket gaskets. But that is for now. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, see you in the next one. Bye bye.